Hello, my holiday lovelies. Welcome back to BX3. I am your festive holiday host, Dylan Thomas Good. And this time we've come to the end of the year, as you can see. And we're going to talk about all the new wonderful things that we're going to do in 2020. And one of those things that I've realized are things called pitch parties. And pitch parties are new to me and new to a lot of folks in the writing community. A pitch party is something that takes place on Twitter exclusively. You won't see this on Facebook and you won't see it on Instagram or anything. This is pretty much a Twitter-based opportunity for writers. And during this, what you do is you query without a query. Let me explain. Because as a writer, we all hate writing query letters. It's as simple as that. I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't want to do it anymore, and I want to come up with new ways to do it and engage with people without having to slog through one after the other after the other. And what pitch parties do is allow you to give your log line, give your pitch, or elevator pitch, the long version of it. That's the way it used to be called whenever I was much younger. And post it online for actual agents and producers and things like that to look at, and then if they like it, and we all know in this era of social media everything's about liking, if they like it, then that means that they want to review more of it. And like I said, it's a query without a query. It's fantastic. So I always think that that's a really, really good way to get in with new writers, do networking, and actually somehow contact agents in a new fashion that we haven't really seen in years past. Now, how do you do this? And there are numerous pitch parties, and most of them contain the word pit, and it's a hashtag. And you can use these to designate that you're participating in a certain pitch party, and we'll go over some of these main ones here in just a few minutes. But you go in and you use certain hashtags to denote whether it's an adult book or a children's book or a picture book or a sci-fi book or whatever. And there's that way agents who represent the certain genres that you're taking part in can actually go and search by these hashtags to find exactly what they're looking for and the type of things that they would represent well. And probably one of the best things about these pitch parties is actually going out and meeting new writers. It doesn't matter whether they're into the same genres and backgrounds that you have, but it's just great to go out and support some fellow writers, get some FaceTime with these folks, and just pump up each other and get excited about an opportunity that only comes, in certain cases, with a few of these, just once a year. So hang on. We're going to go and start with all of our list of the main pitch parties here on this episode of BX3. So hang out. All right. As usual here on BX3, I'm going to throw a lot of information at you, but don't worry. You're going to find all the information I'm telling you down in the video description as well. And when it comes to pit party hashtags that I mentioned just a few seconds ago, you can always check pitchwars.org, and they have a big list there. You'll just have to click through a few things and look for the actual hashtags that you can use on each one. I'm going to try to do this in a kind of pseudo-chronological order from January through December of the year. So if there's a certain one that you want, you don't have to watch this whole episode again. You can sort of fast forward and find the one that suits your needs. But the first one I want to talk about is the ISWGPIT. And that, of course, stands for the Insecure Writers Support Group, which I think is just a fantastic name. And this happens twice a year, and it's one of the biggest ones. PitMad is probably the granddaddy, and we'll talk about PitMad in a few minutes. But the next ISWGPIT is going to take place on the 15th of January. So it's a big one. Make sure you get that one on your calendar and participate in this one, because it's one of the biggest opportunities for all of us in all genres and all walks of life to take part on. So don't miss that one. So it's ISWGPIT, and it's going to be on the 15th of January. For all you science fiction and fantasy writers, and I know there are a lot of you out there, the next big SFFPit will be taking place on the 20th of January. And this is also a pitch party that's done twice a year. I believe the other one is in June or July, something to that effect. So if you're not ready for the January one, don't worry, you're going to have another opportunity. But yes, SFFPit, and that's going to be taking place right after the IWSG one, and that's going to be on the 20th of January. And for all you smoochers out there and all you romantic people, we have KissPitch. Yes, KissPitch, and it's done as expected every Valentine's Day. So the 14th of February is when all the romance writers go absolutely batshit over what's going to happen on Twitter, and so get out there and get your scripts and your lips all ready for the 14th of February for all you romance writers, because KissPitch is coming up quick. PBPit is kind of a different one, and it's for all you folks who want to do picture books. And you can go and check out PBPit and see exactly what the parameters are on that. I think that they do a lot of different genres within picture books, but if you're interested and you've been sharpening up your colored pencils and you want to take part in that one, go and check out PBPit, because it's a really kind of unique opportunity for a genre of books that doesn't really get represented too often. So PBPit, check that out. It's going to be on February 20th. That's the next one, so check on that one. FaithPitch is for all the Christian-based projects, and that one's good. The next one's coming up on the 27th of February. And what's interesting about FaithPitch is that it's for fiction and nonfiction. So if you have, some kind of book proposal-based type of thing for a nonfiction work, definitely check this out. And I would say this one's held multiple times during the year, but check online and ascertain those dates. I know the next one, like I said, is the 27th of February, but if you're not quite ready for that one, don't worry, you'll be having other opportunities here later in the year. And now we come to PitMad. PitMad is the granddaddy of all pitch parties. It's, I think the last one had something to the effect of 10,000 people using it. So it's definitely something that absolutely inundates agents with online queries. And it's not done not once, not twice a year, but 4 times. It's always the first Thursday of each quarter, and that starts with March, June, September, and December. So that one's coming. It'll be the 5th of March, I believe, is the next one. And so get ready for it, because like I said, it's a really big deal, and there's lots of opportunity, and just the atmosphere is wonderful. I took part in the last one, which was earlier this month in December, the first week of December. And to be honest, a lot of the fun just came from retweeting other people and pumping them up and just diving headfirst into meeting new people and seeing what's out there and just giving support to people that are, just like all the rest of us. And they're looking for someone with a bullhorn to be able to go out there and trumpet their works and really make it the success that they want it to be. So PitMad, get ready for it. If you haven't ever taken part in it, definitely check it out. And there are a lot of people that even if they don't take part in PitMad, they're still willing to retweet your tweets. That's tough to say when you're sober. And go ahead and really, really support their fellow writers. So yes, PitMad, next one coming up in March. So check into that one. DVPit is a diversity-based pitch party, and it's a biannual event, usually around April and October every year. And this is one that highlights diversity for, the main purpose is to shine a light on underrepresented groups such as minorities, alternative sexualities, handicapped writers, anything that, may need a little bit of an extra boost in the marketing world. That's what the point of DVPit is. And a note, sometimes DVPit has separate days for adult versus children books. So make sure each time, if you're going to take place, I think the next one in April is going to be the same day for both the adult and the children ones, but that I've seen in the past is not always the case. So definitely check their website, go on Twitter, check the hashtags, make sure that you're submitting your work on the correct day. And usually it's just one day apart for those two genres, but it is something that you want to take heed on. And finally, we come to PitDark. And this is for all you fiends who write about the dark side. And this is one that's close to my heart because I love the horror genre, and I have for nearly 40 years now. And it's something that I'm just now getting back into. I just started a new horror book, and I'm really looking forward to kicking that out and sharing it with everyone here later on in 2020. But October, of course, no better time for PitDark, and it highlights horror, of course, but it's also about the darker things. If you've had a query, and I'm sure a lot of horror writers have had this issue where you query someone and your agent goes, but it's so dark and I want you to change the ending. Fuck that, don't do that. Submit it on PitDark. Have somebody who really appreciates the dark side, and I don't mean just Darth Vader, go and actually check that out and really get into what you're trying to impart as a writer creatively. Yes, there's a big call for people who want light, upbeat works, and a lot of us have done that and engaged in that, and it's a great thing, but there's also a time for, endings that don't get tied up in a cute little bow. And that reflects a lot of what life is. And despite the fact that it's not popular with a lot of agents, there are agents out there who are very interested in seeing that work. So if you're a lover of the macabre, get your stuff ready because, yes, October's still another 10 months away, but it's coming. So get all that ready. And that's the big thing. Those are the main 8. Those are the main 8 pitches that you can find during the year. And like I said, some of them are a one-shot deal, like KissPitch, which is the 14th of February each year for the romance writers. And then there are other ones, such as PitMad, that go quarterly, multiple times during the year. So always check, your hashtags and the websites that sponsor all these pitch parties, and so you can have the most updated, reliable information. Don't go by the stuff that was put last year. I had the inclination to go and just check the stuff that was from 2018 whenever I was researching all of these, and you can't do that because that's not reliable. There are a lot of pitch parties that go away and come back. There's some that go away and never come back, and there are other ones that pop up all the time. So definitely do your homework. Always check and see what the specifics are. If you do get an agent who likes your work and clicks that little heart and makes your day complete, definitely check their website and see what their guides are, what their submission guides are. Because it's, if you're going to have this kind of opportunity and you've gotten someone's attention, be sure to follow to the letter what they're expecting of you whenever you submit. And definitely make note of it being a PitMad submission, specifically in your subject line. So, agents, they have hundreds of emails at a time, but if they know right by looking at it that it's something that they requested, bam, you're going to get priority seating. You know what I mean? So definitely, like I said, check not only their website but also their Twitter feed as well, because they may have just specific directions for people that they've liked in order for them to go ahead and submit the work that they're interested in. All right, we've come to the part of the show where I get to scare you. But I do it out of love. And what I want to try to remind you folks is, by taking part in these pitch parties, there are people out there that are willing to piss on your party. And by saying that, I mean that if anybody likes your pitch, be sure to check them out thoroughly. Make sure they are part of a reputable agent and that they are not some kind of fuckhead from around the world who posed as an agent who just wants to waste your time and get their kicks out of stealing your ideas. In this world of just omnipresent social media, we are at risk at all times for numerous things, and pitch parties are not removed from that. So yes, definitely do your research, vet your agents, and if you feel, insecure at all about submitting to a certain person, don't do it. Go with your gut. If you feel that they're not the right agent for you, or that they may not even be an agent, you don't have to send to these people. These are just people that are interested in your work, but some of them are not looking out for your best interests. So do your homework, and like I said, always check all these pitch parties' home sites or their sponsors, and that way you can be sure that you're submitting the right project to the right person on the right day. If you know of a pitch party that I haven't gone over in this program, be sure to list it down in the comments. Like I said, much like death and taxes, the only constant in pitch parties is that they're not always going to be the same. And new ones pop up all the time, old ones go away. So get out there and check on things, and if you've got one that you really want to highlight, either you're the sponsor of it or you really want to get behind it, list it down in the comments and become your own pitch party rock star. And that's it. We've gotten through 2019. Can you believe it? I can't. But I'm really, really looking forward to 2020. I've got a lot of great ideas. I hope you guys do too. Thank you so much for joining me, not just for this episode, but all year. This whole Books, Boots, Booze has just been a whirlwind for me, and it was something that I just kind of cropped up in my head one day, and I acted on it, and here we are over 6 months later, and we're still going strong. So me and my festive polar bears wish you the happiest of holidays, and we'll see you again next year. Take care. Oh, I got a Christmas booger.